we are live. So, welcome to episode 290 of An American Werewolf. I am Michael Martin, the American Werewolf, and also not a Libyan terrorist.
Thank God.
In the house tonight, we've got not a butthead.
Not a butthead.
Look at
John 37 3D.
Where's Dennis Quaid?
Come on, I'm referencing the second one.
Yeah. Shark still looks fake.
And we've got John K. Alvarez, former roadie for the Pinheads. Thank you for joining us here this evening.
Good to be here.
All right, man. And coming back, as I was saying earlier, from his sabbatical in the Far East, we've got the Ryan Daly.
My tour of the subcontinent, right?
Polite sub applause. There you go.
Yeah.
And we've got Eric from Hey Internet Eric here. What's happening?
I'm here. Glad to be
Yay.
back. Yeah. So, we are here now in the month of December, and we are covering the films of Robert Zemeckis. Last month was Richard Linklater. Here we have Zemeckis in the lead up to the Christmas holiday, and 3 movies, in which case we'll be taking some time off after that for Christmas and New Year's. But the first movie that popped into my head, I can't even remember what. The first movie that popped into my head was Forrest Gump, followed quickly by we're not fucking covering Forrest Gump, because I'm just not doing that to myself. And I'm not doing that to anybody else who might feel the same way that I do. So, we're not covering Forrest Gump. But the second movie that popped into my head was this one. And I usually have a copy. I don't have a copy of this for some reason. I don't know why. We're talking about Back to the Future. So if you're ready to go, shall we get it going?
Do it.
Let's go, Doc.
Do it.
Ahoy, Polloy. So I'm
quite the opening.
I'm still pissed off that YouTube has clipped me for that really great fucking intro that only John had a chance to see. I mean, it's just fantastic. I'm gonna have to work on another one.
That one was brilliant.
Wow,
Yeah,
I've been away for a long time. It was quite the opener.
Yeah.
Perfect for the holiday season.
A little Pygmy Love Circus covering Thin Lizzy, so that always works.
That was Pygmy Love Circus.
That is it. So, thank God we're not doing Forrest Gump, but this is a movie I haven't seen in probably, I'd say, 20, 25 years plus.
Too long.
It's currently available on Pluto TV, so you can watch it for free. None of the other streaming channels seem to have it for free as part of their service. Everybody's charging the $4. An interesting thing, it seems that this concept for this film came from one of the co-writers, Bob Gale. And he got the idea from looking at his father's high school yearbook, and he just kind of wondered to himself, like, if I had met my dad in 1955, would we be friends?
Mm-hmm.
And which, that's the pretty interesting concept. Not many things that I've heard go that way. Well, hold on. Let me before I opine too heavily. We have a comment here. It's from Slasher Fred. What's up, man? And he says this episode is going to be pretty heavy.
Did you just call me fat?
Yeah.
Stop picking on our weight.
So, let's see. Let's go into a little behind the scenes here. It says Eric Stoltz was originally cast as Marty McFly and shot for 5 to 6 weeks. Almost half the movie footage exists, and some of it is leaked online. He was fired because of his dramatic method acting approach. Didn't match the comedic tone Zemeckis and Bob Gale, the guy from the high school yearbook, wanted. Michael J. Fox was always the first choice, but he was tied up filming Family Ties. I don't think you can appreciate, unless you were there, and I know for certain not a butthead and John were there, how popular Michael J. Fox was in the fucking 80s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I used to watch Family Ties all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it was just, he was like one of the biggest things on television.
Yeah. I was born in 81, so I know. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the big young star at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, nobody wanted him. They didn't want him for the TV show. They didn't want him for this movie,
Well, let's see. When Fox's schedule miraculously opened up, thanks to producer Gary David Goldberg and Meredith Baxter Burney's maternity leave, she was the mom in Family Ties. They recast him and reshot almost everything that they had done with Stoltz. Crispin Glover, who plays the dad, George McFly, was difficult on set and demanded script changes and more money.
That's on who you believe. Him and Bob Gale have been arguing that for ever since the movie came out.
Well, it says after the first film, he priced himself out of the sequel. So for part 2 and 3, they used Jeffrey Weissman in prosthetics and hung him upside down in some scenes to avoid lawsuits, which Glover later filed and reportedly settled. That's a little bit of the behind the scenes, but let's go around a little bit as we normally do. Not a butthead. Reactions to this film. It's been 40 years, 1985, so 40 years of Back to the Future. What do you got?
I gotta say, I love this movie. I saw it in the theater. It came out right after I graduated high school, and it was like in this perfect slot where I had just gotten my driver's license. I saw a shit ton of movies that summer, and this one stands out. I remember sitting in the theater. I remember the guys I was with. I remember that opening scene where they blew up the amplifier. It's just an all-around good movie, and I definitely watch it every couple of years. Every time someone brings it up, I'm bound to watch it. If it's on TV, I'll sit and I'll watch the whole damn thing. I love this movie.
John K. Alvarez, what do you got?
My father and I used to talk about movies, and we refer to some movies as the popcorn films. This is what you do. You sit with a bowl of popcorn and you watch the movie. This is the ultimate popcorn film. I saw it 40 years ago in the movie theater with my one brother, which is funny because it was my older brother. I thought he would be bored with it. And the two of us laughed out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I watched it over the 40 years, including not too long ago. And I'm like, it still makes me smile. It's like a banana split, that you enjoyed when you were in your 20s. And now that you're in your 60s, you're not supposed to enjoy this, and you'll wind up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go with Ryan. Any thoughts on the film? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Or you're like, yeah, it's okay, or what's up?
No, I was 8 years old when it came out in 85. I saw it in the theater. I remember my dad bringing us, my brother and I, and I mean, we thought it was cool. You know, we knew who Michael Keaton. Wow, we knew who Michael J. Fox was. I'm thinking of Alex Keaton, because we watched the show Family Ties. So, yeah, man, it was awesome. And you know, I just remember just laughing that first scene where he hits the guitar and gets blown back by the amp. I mean, it's a great movie, and you know, it's timeless. I love it. I have the trilogy. I have all three. Oddly enough, I still have never seen the third movie. I've seen the first and second one, but the third one I still have never seen. I don't know why. I just never got around to it. But yeah, it's an awesome movie. It's a classic, and it deserves its spot as a pop culture icon, and it deserves its spot in the National Film Registry for preservation.
All right. Eric, thoughts? When's the last time you seen it? Did you see it before this, or you've run it off memories? What's going on?
I'm actually surprised Ryan hasn't seen the third, since you love Westerns so much.
Yeah, I know. I just, yeah.
But I was too young to see it in the theaters, but I wore out the VHS tape my dad had, off of HBO type of thing. And it like John said, it's a popcorn movie. It's just freaking fun from beginning to end. Yeah. And it's one of those films that you can enjoy more as an adult because now you're sitting down and actually paying attention, and you realize how smart this movie is when it comes to even just the stuff and the setups in the very beginning. And again, if you're being like a movie geek, you see like one thing here, like Twin Pines Mall in the beginning and how it switches at the end, how smart this script is. And Ryan said it best, it is timeless, because this is something that future generations, including like the current generation, can enjoy. My daughter's 13, and this is one of her favorite movies of all time. And she's only seen it like 2 or 3 times. She loves it. She looks forward to it. And she's the type of kid, like, you got to twist her arm to get to watch a movie. You know what I mean? But if I say, hey, honey, you want to watch Back to the Future? The phone's down and she's in the living room, and I'll get to it when we get to the part at the prom or the dance. It's one of my favorite movies or memories with my daughter, because that's when this movie is one of the first movies, if not the first movie, where she actually sits down and gets into the story. She's following the characters and what they're going through, and I'll explain why later. But it's great. I absolutely love it, and I'm a sucker for the 50s too, so that might add to it.
Yeah,
it's the stereotypical hero's journey, according to Campbell. You got this guy, he's kind of stuck in a rut. He wants to do things, but he's sort of bogged down. He's kind of low on the self-confidence thing. His parents really are just kind of, his mom's kind of a drunk, like a funny drunk. The dad's kind of a pushover. He's still being bullied from like his high school bully. 20 or 30 years later, the one brother is like working.
It's like McDonald's or something.
Yeah, working like the late shift at like the fast food place, and the other one's like where the sister's like in sweatpants all the time, and so he's kind of just stuck in this rut. But he's got this one mentor in the typical Campbell fashion who's going to take him through this, or start to, move him forward onto this journey, which is Doc Brown, played fantastically by Christopher Lloyd. There are a lot. I was surprised. I kind of looked up like how many time travel movies there are out there. This is probably in the top 2. I would say it's a tie between this and, well, maybe not franchises necessarily, but even movies, between this and Terminator.
Right. Oh, really?
It's my favorite genre of film is time travel.
Time travel?
Or subgenre, however you want to say it.
Well, I mean, I went through a little bit of a list. We got like 12 Monkeys, and we got Donnie Darko, and you got Groundhog Day, and you got Arrival, and Tenet, and we got Planet of the Apes, and you got like Avengers Endgame. There are all these,
Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, Butterfly Effect.
What about, is the Time Machine on there?
Well, I mean, I didn't write them all down.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
But I just
from that time when Superman goes back in time just by thinking it.
He flew around the world, man.
That's another one, but there was that one movie where where he went back in time.
Who
Superman.
goes back in time? Who goes back in time to save Margot Kidder? Let's not. All right, so hold on. We got some little flood of comments here. And Fred says, I think that what makes Back to the Future a classic is that it's not just about a teen who goes back in time, but it's really about learning about your own history. Yeah, I mean, would you want to see all your parents' childhood traumas? You know, it's done in a comedic way, but you're kind of seeing, you know, what their teen years are like, which were kind of hellish. The movie is basically what if you could go back in time and encounter your own ancestors. Speaking of the sequel, the original doc says, yeah, want to know who's going to win the next 25 World Series.
The next one. With the
filmed in the same lot where the classic horror, the horror classic Gremlins was filmed.
Yeah.
They added a to be continued when they released it on VHS.
VHS, yeah.
In the sequel, they had Michael J. Fox, Lea Thompson, and Thomas F. Wilson play many different roles.
Right.
The original movie lacks Marty getting agitated when being called a coward by either Biff or his relatives, Chicken or Yellow. One of the earliest roles were Billy Zane, playing Max as one of Biff's minions.
And Casey Zamasco, too.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Gremlins, this does have a Gremlins connection because the mom of, I guess, Lorraine is, Lea Thompson's character is the mom from the Gremlins. Mrs. Keltzer. Yeah. Which came out a year before this.
So, I mean, I'm not sure where to start here. I mean, you've kind of, it's comedic, but you've almost kind of got like these generational curses that are, kind of hampering the family. And he gets a chance to go back to 1955 and sort of make corrections. So that is fun. He just basically wants to get back to 1985 again. But along the way, as he starts to meet his dad and meet his mom, he starts to, I guess, without meaning to, improve things. So that they not only happen as they were intended to happen, he adds a little bit on, trying to boost his dad's self-confidence, all the while sort of rejecting his mother's advances, which was funny. It's kind of, I think that was kind of controversial at first. I think they said the script got rejected 40 times. Yeah, the movie was rejected over 40 times by every major studio. Disney famously turned it down because they thought of the story of a mother falling in love with her son, even accidentally, was too much. So, I mean, it is kind of something to watch this time. I was like, oh, okay, we thought it was funny, and it still is. But
yeah, but it's funny because he caused that, because if you remember, that's how his parents fell in love. And since he pushed Dad out of the way of the car because he was busy watching Lorraine get undressed, he's the one. And then the thing is, this is the stuff you notice when you get older, because if you remember in the very beginning, when they're talking about their history, Lorraine knows that George was watching because she gives that line, "What were you do? Bird watching?" And then he gets all, tense, what? And then she gives him that smirk. She knew he was watching, and then the dad says, another kid jumped in front of my car, so she's always getting undressed in front of the window, and Marty just saving Dad, he gets hit, so that's why.
Another kid that got hit was looking at Lorraine as well. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, he was smart. He got the hell out of there.
I hadn't thought about watching this. I hadn't thought about Lea Thompson in forever.
What? Right. Blasphemy. Howard the Duck, baby.
Jaws 3.
I don't think I ever saw Howard the Duck, but
I never saw it.
Hey, she was one of the original Wolverines.
She was smoking hot.
She's still looking good.
She married a director, this guy named Howard Deutsch, who used to do a lot of John Hughes's stuff. Like they collaborated a lot together. And she's got that Zoe Deutsch, that she's like an actress or something. That's her daughter, and she does a lot of directing. Yeah, she does a lot of directing and stuff now. She's still in it. I
can't remember the last time I've seen her.
She was in a TV show.
she had a run during the 80s.
Caroline in the City.
Yeah, Caroline in the City was her sitcom.
No, I don't know it.
She
Yeah,
did a
that
great episode of
sitcom's like
Tales from
20
the
years
Crypt,
old too, though.
Yeah.
She, I actually follow her on Instagram.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on one of the social media things because she makes comments and things like that. She's involved with the Actors Union.
Mhm.
a
Okay,
lot.
yeah.
She's one of the, and it's funny because the way she talks about, like she did a great thing about Michael J. Fox, how the two of them met at a reunion for the movie.
Hmm.
Her, Michael J. Fox, and Doc Brown
Oh.
met.
Yeah, if you look at her credits, she's been in a shit ton of movies. She
Yeah.
was actually in, and I hadn't seen this movie in 30 years, and my kids wanted to watch Dennis the Menace.
Mhm.
And she's Dennis's mom.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Dennis's
oh,
mom.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yeah.
She started back in the original Red Dawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
that's
remember.
right. Yep. Yep. She
I
was like
remember
the
her from
go-to
that.
80s girl, you know? She
Yep.
was in a lot of those movies.
She
Mhm.
was one of
Yeah, Some Kind of Wonderful.
Some kind, yeah,
Yeah.
Some Kind of Wonderful
yeah,
is
that's
another one.
right. Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
was an Eric Stoltz movie too, wasn't it? Andrew McCarthy
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. But yeah, she does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff now, like directing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, anybody got a favorite character for this thing? You know, I mean, we all know it by heart. If there's I'll run it this way. If there's any particular scene that anybody wants to get into or a favorite part, you know, we could go from there.
I think it's funny that at the time that movie came out, you know, how they made the Libyans the bad guys, because, you know, we were all entrenched in the Gaddafi nonsense at that point.
Yep.
And so, like,
Mhm.
you know, the Libyans were the big bads, you know, and I was, the first time I saw it, you know, I'm 8 years old. I wasn't expecting Doc Brown to get killed because it's
Right.
not that, it set it up where it wasn't that kind of movie. And then you're like, wait a minute, he just got blown away by some Libyan terrorists for his plutonium. You know, so that kind of startled me, but I just remember, like, I don't know. I mean, there's just so many good scenes. And, you know, I mean, you'd be here all night talking about them. But, you know, at that one, looking back now, it's like, yeah, it's funny that, you know, it was 85 and they chose the Libyans as the bad guys.
I genuinely think Biff is one of the most underrated characters in the first movie.
Who's that?
Mhm.
Biff.
Biff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Biff,
Yeah.
Biff
yeah.
could have played him just like the typical grunt
Yeah.
or the typical, you know, bully.
Mhm.
But oh my God, he was so goddamn funny.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was really, really funny. And it was all deadpan delivery. And
Yeah.
I loved that. I thought that was fantastic.
And his stupid phrases, like, why don't
Oh,
you
yeah.
make like a tree and get out of here? You
Get
know,
outta
it's just like
here.
dumb stuff like that.
Oh God, yeah. And then you actually, at the end of the movie, you really hated him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it at the end when the father got hurt his comeuppance, so I won't spoil too much in case somebody hasn't seen it in 40 years.
It's been 40 years. Yeah, go
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
ahead. Not spoil.
when the father pops him in the jaw,
Yeah.
I was in a movie theater where they all burst out in cheers. You know?
Mhm.
And the thing is, if you see that actor now, like on YouTube,
He's hilarious.
he's hilarious. He's got a comedy routine where he sings about the movie.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, saying, "Yes, I was Biff."
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a right, but he's so deadpan in his delivery, and it worked. That's what makes it work.
He
So
starts
great.
out.
We kind of brought him back in Freaks and Geeks when he played the gym teacher. It
Mm-hmm.
was like
Oh,
bits and
okay.
pieces of Biff coming out in his portrayal of the
That's what
gym teacher.
That's what I think makes a great villain in like a goofy over the top fun movie like this is when the villain plays it like it's a serious role. You know what I mean? He's the straight man when all this goofy shit is happening in the background.
Yeah.
And you know, if we're talking favorite scenes, I'll go ahead and talk about the scene I mentioned earlier with my daughter. Is the writing is so good, the acting is so good, the story, like you really get into the story,
Mhm.
and you realize, you know, when Marty screwed up and saved Dad by pushing him out of the way, and it means that, you know, George and Lorraine aren't going to get married, they're not going to have kids, and it's you know, that whole scene in the prom, and everyone remembers, you know, him playing Johnny Be Good. But the scene I will always remember because is it's when Marty's
Earth
starting
Angel.
to disappear because a little
Mhm.
gingerhead kid, shoves George out of the way, steals Lorraine, and then
Oh, the
Marty's
second
starting.
command from Children of the Corn.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Marty's starting to
Courtney Gaines,
disappear.
yeah.
Marty's starting to disappear, and I'm sitting on the couch, and my daughter's ahead of me, like in front of me, and I just see like her profile, so I just see like one half of her body, and she's sitting there watching it, and then Marty's starting to disappear, and then suddenly George has his hero moment. He shoves Courtney Gaines on the ground, and my daughter doesn't realize I'm watching her instead of the film. You know what I mean? Because I see her kind of tense up a little bit when Marty's starting to go away and stuff like this. She's probably, I don't know, 10 at the time, 8 to 10 years old. And George has this hero moment, shoves the kid, grabs Lorraine, kisses, and I just see my daughter, like, she clenches her hand, she just whispers, yes. You know what I mean? So she, at that age, is getting into these characters. She wants everybody to succeed, and she knows that now what George did, now George is going to be the hero, Marty's going to be, safe and stuff like that. So that's what I mean by not just good writing with the gags, like, Old Man Peabody and the pine trees and stuff like that. People at 10 years, or kids at 10 years old or 8 to 10 can actually follow the story, get into it, and actually care about these characters instead of it just being a popcorn time travel film. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean by, taking the term from Ryan, how it's timeless. Any kid from any generation can watch that now. And it doesn't matter if it's dated, 1980s technology and shit like that. They can still get into it and love it.
And it's relatable.
I think if we're talking about favorite characters, I just thought my favorite character is Principal Strickland. I love that guy. He's a riot because he's so ridiculous and he's so over the top and loud. And James Tolkien is fantastic in the part. And I love that they brought him back in the second one. And like
he's in the third one too. He's
Ryan, watch the third. Ryan, watch the third movie.
Yeah,
watch the third movie. If you love that character.
Yeah, he's in the but like they're in the second movie, they like vandalize his house. And he's great. And of course, I also love the cameo by Huey Lewis.
Yeah,
that's
love that.
That's just fantastic because he was the flavor of the month at the time too, and he did the song and everything. And it was just a genius move on their part to have him be the judge of the music contest and tell them that they're just too loud, too darn loud, or whatever.
For me, my favorite character is Goldie Wilson, man.
Yeah,
there was a sequel featuring him as the lead character. I'd watch it in a second. I want to know his whole journey from busboy to mayor. And my favorite scene is the skateboarding scene. Where they're trying to clobber him, and he takes that kid's little apple cart and rips the top off and turns it into a skateboard. I know it's a goofy action scene, but there's so much cool stuff in it. The guy's throwing beer bottles at him, and right at the end, when he jumps over the car and he hits the manure truck, and all the manure falls on them, and there's Goldie was like.
And see, that's what shows how bad of a person Biff is. He's not just trying to hurt Marty; he wants to run him fucking over.
He wants to run him over.
I mean? He literally is trying to kill him in the middle of the town in front of everybody.
Well, shockingly enough, man, this guy is so bad that he tries to rape Lorraine.
Yeah, you don't realize that when you're a kid watching it until you grow up. Yeah, there's a lot of dark shit in it too.
Yeah, it turns. The comedic element sort of gets super dark for just a second.
Right.
With the whole scene with Lorraine in the car, and that's when he finally has to be shut down. And George actually steps up and does something that he hadn't done in the past. Marty ends up changing. He ends up changing the past, which sets up for something much better when he comes back.
Yeah,
and that's great. Again, that's great writing.
A step above so many other teen comedy romps of that era. It looks the same. It almost plays the same, but this one takes those risks and pushes the emotions just enough that it has real weight. Like the punch is well deserved. It's not something you're expecting. It's well deserved. This guy's trying to rape his future wife, and he just falls off and decks him, and you go, yes. Okay.
Yeah, the comparison between this and other 80s movies, there are things that are missing from this movie that actually make it better. You're not getting gratuitous amounts of profanity.
Right.
You're getting gratuitous nude scenes,
Right.
which you would typically get, or some sort of sex or raunchiness or the drugs, like you would get even like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which you might consider an upper level teen comedy for its time. This actually has a far better script. Than that. I mean, it's about something.
Everything.
The other things were typically set up just for teenagers. This is set up where, like we say now, it has something for everyone.
Everybody.
The parents who took us there, the parents who took us there when we were kids were able to enjoy it just as much as we were, maybe on a different level, as opposed to taking us to see something else. Or like, Jesus Christ, why did this kid ended up trying?
I always thought that's what affected the Disney movies, because after that movie, suddenly the Disney movies had stuff that was for everybody, not just for the little kids.
I think definitely it had.
And that's not easy. And that's not easy to write.
It's not easy to do.
Yeah, that's not easy to make some universal story that's basically geared for kids, but could also have something for. Not everybody can do that. What the usual attempt turns into what we usually got into the 80s. Like The Last American Virgin, or Fast Times, or something like My Tutor, or whatever that other crap.
Even any of the John Hughes movies,
Don't forget how huge this movie actually was at the time. Like, this was the biggest moneymaker, and it was in a field crowded with really good movies. So I was just talking to Mike off camera beforehand about how, for some reason, 1985 is like 1998. It's just packed with really, really high quality movies, and this one clobbered them all. And that's why.
And even when they were poking fun at the past, when they were in the past, like when, Goldie, saying you're going to be mayor.
You start cleaning up the
and the owner of the bar goes, black mayor, that'll be today. And they weren't slamming the past. It was kind of like a nice tribute to it.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I really think that made it work. I mean,
it wasn't making fun of it, really. Yeah.
Well,
when Marty shows up with the radioactive gear to talk to his father, and he says, and he puts on the Van Halen music, and just wakes him up and goes, "I'm from the planet Vulcan," and I laughed out loud at that.
That's my favorite scene. Yeah, that's my actual favorite scene.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, I'm sorry. No, that's fine. But when he zaps him with that Edward Van Halen, he just pops it in, like torturing him with the music. But I'm looking at the worldwide gross. Back then, 40 years ago, it made $388,800,000. That's a lot of fucking money. Adjusted for today, that would be $1.18 billion.
Shoot.
So this would be
this
is like Avatar level. By today's
Avengers
standards. This is Avengers.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, we were paying a couple of bucks for a ticket back then.
Yeah. $5 or something. Yeah.
$3.50.
Probably $3.50. Probably. Yeah.
And it was genuinely funny.
Yeah.
And that goes back and shows how smart, again, like the writing is. Like, again, Marty, who can't, get the job for the school dance, with the band, he plays too darn loud. That's why he's listening to Eddie Van Halen, stuff like that. Or they have, again, every scene where you realize it or not has a purpose. When George knocks out Biff, then Marty tells Doc, this is the first time he ever stood up to Biff in his life. And then, the gears are clicking. Doc's like, first time ever. Yeah, and then he shakes it off, but he knows it's going to lead to something else. And now,
which is great.
George is this confident guy, and Biff's still a piece of shit. He's still trying to get away with one coat of wax instead of two, but now George isn't the pushover, and he knows don't con me. He knows how Biff is, and then Biff backs down.
Right.
But it's such a smart film, and like I said, I want to know how many drafts this went to, because everything clicks, and you always catch something with each viewing. Like,
I wonder how much of a pain in the ass McFly was, Crispin Glover, but how many of the changes he demanded really elevated this movie.
I
knew he wanted his hair like the guy from Eraserhead. I knew that because he's a big fan.
I heard something at the one scene where he's talking to Marty outside of his house or something, that he would not stand in one spot.
Right.
He kept wandering around. So Zemeckis made him stand in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, he had a square.
Yeah, he made him stand in a box and do his lines because he was just so like he just got on there because Crispin Glover's a weird dude from what I understand.
Yeah,
and he just kept moving. He kept wanting to like walk around while he's talking to Marty. And Zemeckis is like, no, you just stand there, stand. So he had him literally stand in a box and just do your lines,
You're talking about the script, and I was able to dig this up. It said the original script was titled Professor Brown and the Time Machine, and had the time machine as a refrigerator. And they said they changed it because they didn't want kids climbing into refrigerators.
I heard that. I heard that.
That's an urban legend.
I never heard of that.
I've never climbed into a refrigerator. I have no idea if I could get out again. I would assume that I could, but I don't want to find out.
And it was one of those things that we thought was a bigger deal in the 70s and 80s.
This movie certainly made the DeLorean popular. I mean, I had never heard of it before then. Did it even get popular after this? Because I never saw anybody own one.
Well, it was
a bit. It said that this was a pain in the ass. Hold on, John. Real quick.
Go ahead.
The DeLorean was ridiculously hard to drive. They went through 7 of them.
Wow.
It said it had the doors, which is leaked. The body is made out of fiberglass, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it constantly overheated. They went through 7 of them.
Jeez. Wow.
And that sounds like something Doc Brown would have. He'd want something over the top and flashy, and that would blow up like just by hitting the curb. You know what I mean?
And I was just looking at this before we came on. I Googled, how fast can a DeLorean actually go? Because 88 miles really is nothing. And 88 miles per hour. And it gets up to speeds of like 120. But I guess with a fiberglass car, they couldn't go that fast because then it would just blow up.
You think about it back then, going 88 miles per hour was pretty fucking fast. Now everybody's going 80 in a 55.
Yeah, that's
true. So, I mean.
Yeah, the Parkway was 55 back then.
Yeah, the Parkway was 55 back then. So if you saw someone doing 80, that was kind of pushing it. Now, what the fuck? And it said to get back to 1955, Doc originally needed to detonate a nuclear bomb in the Nevada test site to generate the 1.21 gigawatts.
Jeez,
that's one of my favorite scenes. 1.21 gigawatts, and it said
I like when he
sequence was a late addition.
I like when he's grilling Marty when he sees him in 1955. He's like, "Who's the president in 1985?" And he's like, "Ronald Reagan, the actor." Yeah. But because that's funny, and I didn't know at the time that Reagan was an actor. But then in the, obviously in the years since I've seen him in a couple movies, and it's just funny, like seeing the future president of the United States in these movies. He was in.
Oh, absolutely.
Just simple things like things like where's John? No, that's John F. Kennedy Drive. Who the hell is John F. Kennedy?
Yeah.
You got to remember it's 1955.
Yeah, they're watching Honeymooners. Oh, I seen this one. Ralph goes into space or something. They're like, "What do you mean? It's brand new."
Yeah.
Yeah. Goddamn kids are trying to kill my trees.
I think we should. I think the person that really steals every scene is Christopher Lloyd.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, he's just got this great physical comedy. I mean, like when you first see him in 1955 and he opens the door and leans out and he's got that thing on his head.
Yeah.
And that music is playing in the background. He's hysterical in like everything that he does. And he
based his acting off of an orchestra conductor because you see him, he's always using his hands and sticking them out far ahead of him and stuff like that.
He reminded me a lot of Jim. He's like a burnout scientist. Jim from Taxi, who was the character.
Reverend Jim, yeah.
This
was like his breakout role, though, I think.
Yeah, he was in a couple movies before this, but this is the one that really put him on the map movie-wise.
Christopher Lloyd.
Lloyd.
He was in Taxi.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, his first movie was, I forgot, his first movie is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Nest.
Yeah. But
he's doing the same kind of physical comedy in that one, and he does.
Yeah. But I think this was probably his.
And he also did Buckaroo Banzai.
He was in Mr. Mom.
Aliens from Dimension 12.
That's right. He was in Star Trek 3 too.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's right. He was the Klingon. He was the Klingon. Yep. That's right. Yeah. You Klingon bastard. You killed my son.
He was John Big Boutte in Buckaroo
He was John
Banzai.
Boutte.
He was. That's right. He was in
man.
Clue. He was Professor Plum.
Yeah.
So
He did a lot of movies, but that, as he said, he walks down the street and still has people quoting the lines to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he goes, "That's not a bad movie to be having quoted at you."
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
You know,
not for 40 years.
no, not at all.
It's probably. Is it? You think it's in the AFI Top 100?
It is. It's definitely. And like I said, it was selected for preservation by the National Film Registry for being a culturally significant film. I love looking at that list. They got some good ones on there.
Big movie.
Stand-up comedians today. I mean, John Mulvaney did a whole routine on it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And these were younger audience members, and they were on the floor because they were getting all the references. I mean, this movie is timeless.
Anthony Cumia,
My brother-in-law has
Anthony did a live stream where they watched the movie and did like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing.
Oh, that's funny.
Commenting throughout the whole thing. It was one of the first really successful live stream podcasts.
Yeah. My brother-in-law has a friend who's huge into this movie, and he has a prop hoverboard, and he has met every cast member at these conventions and had them all sign it. He's gotten his picture with them, like everybody: Christopher Lloyd, Lea Thompson, Michael J. Fox, everybody. I think Thomas Wilson was there. So it was really cool that he's got, I don't know how much he paid for this, but man, it's a coup when you have all of them there at the same time and get your picture and get them to sign the hoverboard. That was pretty awesome.
Mike, it says Back to the Future is ranked number 10 on AFI's list for sci-fi films. And then it also appeared on the 100 Years, 100 Movies list. And it said, while its initial number 10 ranking on the sci-fi list was met with criticism, public and critical consensus elevated it to number 3 on a future list. So it went from number 10 to number 3.
But that AFI list is nonsense because they put Titanic in there. Get that off. I mean, come on. But I mean, it's some of the movies on there, but no, Back to the Future deserves its spot. So,
I remember it ending in the theater, and I didn't want it to end.
Right.
Yeah, because you're still into it, Yeah.
Yeah, and like I saw it this time, and it brought back that memory, like when Doc shows up at the end, and they get back in the DeLorean, and it can fly,
And then the second movie starts right up from there.
And it just flashed in my head that I remember this, and I didn't want this movie to end. Like I wanted to see where we're going to go.
And then,
roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
And speaking of
somebody wear that on
a
a T-shirt.
And actors who were replaced, Elizabeth Shue played Jennifer in the second movie.
Did she?
Yeah.
It was Claudia Wells, but Claudia Wells apparently quit acting because her mom had breast cancer or something. I read about that. And she didn't want to do the second movie. So they had to reshoot that last scene with Elizabeth Shue for the beginning of the second movie. Yeah,
it's pretty close. It's not 100%, but it's pretty damn close to mimicking the end of the movie.
Yeah, they did a nice job. Yeah,
and I always wanted Elizabeth Shue and Michael J. Fox to get together. That was
Well,
Teen Wolf came out the same year.
Did it really?
Yeah, 1985.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, man. I'm telling you,
he's filmed. I forget how many years before.
He agreed to Teen Wolf because he initially turned down Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And then when they fired Stoltz, he was glad to be done with Teen Wolf because that's one of his many movies that he doesn't want to talk about. But he said it was a miserable time, and then he just jumped right onto Back to the Future, and he was doing like 8 to 9 hours or maybe even longer on Family Ties, sleeping for a half hour in his trailer, and then going straight to Back to the Future for God knows how long. And he did that for months and months and months.
Eric Stoltz always reminded me of someone who should have been an A-lister and just for some reason just didn't make it.
Right.
I felt like he was like one of the fringe people in that Brat Pack. But I thought he was the best actor of the bunch. He was certainly bigger than Emilio Estevez.
And I always forget.
Years later, you'd see he popped up in like Pulp Fiction. And I'm like,
that was what I was going to say. I always forget he's in Pulp Fiction.
I'm sorry, yeah, Mask. I'll
Yeah,
put him up
Mask
against
was his
anybody
big
in
one.
Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
I
was
even
in.
liked
He was
him
in that.
what was the movie with John Cusack standing on the car with the radio?
Say
Oh,
anything?
Sandy.
He's in that as the guy who's hosting the party, and it's such a minor role, and he's fantastic in it.
He's one of those guys that always pops up for like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, I mentioned the Butterfly Effect. That's my favorite time travel movie, and he's one of the characters in that. But you can flipping through like the Sci-Fi Channel, you watch that. Remember that awful movie with Jennifer Lopez, Anaconda. He's one of the crew members on that. He's in one of the Fly movies and stuff like that.
Did you see they're doing a new Anaconda?
I saw who's in it, and then I decided not to watch the trailer.
It's Jack Black and I forget who else.
All right.
Ryan
And they're
Reynolds.
fans of the Anaconda movie, and they go into the jungle or something trying to find where they filmed it or something. It's something.
And
so
they
it's like
run
a
into
meta
real
kind of
Anaconda.
thing. Yeah.
Hold on a second. We got a little slasher Fred here. He says, "Did you know that Bob Gale played the role of the driver of the truck that Marty is hanging on to at the beginning of the movie?"
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
As a kid, who didn't want to be on a skateboard and like hang on the back of cars and trucks like that going through town? You know what I mean?
He's kind of a rebel.
Did you really, Don?
Yes, I did.
But he just, I guess this opportunity gives him the chance to, sort of move himself.
And it reminded me so much at times of Indiana Jones, only because like when he runs over the car, like that whole sequence.
Well, it's funny because
to give credit to Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah.
I was going to say he's most underrated, and since Michael picked Robert Zemeckis, but I think he's one of the most underrated directors. I mean, his hand in this is so even keel, and it works so much.
He makes such mainstream movies that are super successful and smart at being super successful, but they're still straight down the road, middle of the road movies.
Yeah.
And they work.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say it's
not quirky
kind of
like Paul Thomas Anderson or Quentin Tarantino or something. He doesn't have he has a style that we look back on and go, yeah, it defined the 80s, but it's not a style where you go, oh, he's so stylistic. He's not Wes Anderson with the flat screens and the forced perspective and all that.
That's not always a bad thing. Like I think sometimes with Paul Thomas Anderson, it would just be nice if he made just a straightforward movie that wasn't some, far out of the way fucking thing. You're just like, geez, sometimes I feel like with that guy, he's trying too hard. Or like he's being quirky. No one's accusing him of that. Yeah,
he's no Terrence Malick, I tell you.
No, he's no Terrence Malick. I love Terrence Malick, but he's no Terrence Malick.
You're talking about Paul Thomas Anderson?
Yeah.
Because I get him confused with Wes Anderson. I don't,
I'm talking about Wes Anderson, but I also brought up Paul Thomas Anderson.
You said Paul Thomas Anderson.
They're both very quirky.
I love Wes Anderson.
They have a style of their own, where Zemeckis seems like everyone makes movies like him. His style is just so middle of the road, but he's brilliant at it.
But like next week we're going to get into Contact, and it's just a fantastic fucking movie. And they are fantastic movies. It's easy to listen to that description and think that you're kind of bagging on it. I don't think that you are.
No.
He makes some great fucking films.
Yeah.
For the Christmas movie, it's going to be Polar Express. I'm really looking forward to that. I've never seen it.
Me neither.
You've never got around to it?
I don't know if
seen
I
it
got
a
around
lot
to describe it. But his style,
I have 2 kids, so
his style doesn't distract from the movie itself. It's not like you're watching, like I watch what's his name, Addams Family, just for his style. The movie could be a piece of shit, but as long as he made it, I'm going to watch it because I'm interested in his style. Same with Rob Zombie. Some of his movies are garbage, but the style and the art direction's always there.
Right.
Zemeckis has none of that. It's just straight up good movie.
Yeah.
He's a laid back Spielberg. You can tell he went to the school of Spielberg in it.
Didn't Spielberg produce Back to the
Future?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. That's why I
Said
think
Steve-
that Indiana Jones connection was kind of deliberate because
Yeah.
Spielberg produced it. So, and Temple of
Mhm.
Doom had come out the year before. So,
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm going through the list here. He's got to put. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see how far he goes back. The
Zemeckis?
Lift movie called Field of Honor. I want to
Good
hold
movie.
your hand. Oh, he did Used Cars with Kurt
Yeah.
Russell. I didn't know that. I love that movie.
That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite
Yeah,
Kurt
yeah,
Russell
yeah,
movies.
that's a great movie. Yeah.
and he was
Romancing the Stone.
Yep.
Yeah, he did those. Yep.
Back to the Future, Marty McFly and the Starlighters as a music video. He did a couple of episodes of Amazing Stories.
Yep.
So of course, you got Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You've got both Back to the Future 2 and 3, and those are both on Pluto TV. So if you want to go watch them, this is as good a trilogy as it gets as well. I think it doesn't get enough credit as a franchise. The
Same here.
individual movie people love, but they don't give really a lot of love to 2 and 3, and they should.
Mm-hmm.
We got some TV stuff. We got Death Becomes Her.
Yep.
Then we go to Forrest Gump.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
He did an episode of Tales from the Crypt. He did 3 episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
He was an executive
He
producer
did
on
the
that.
one with what's her name? With Lea Thompson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he direct that one?
Yeah.
Okay, we got.
He did the one with where they brought back, like, you know how a lot of people are now using AI to bring in, like they did with not Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. You know, they brought him back in Rogue One.
For Rogue One.
He did an episode of Tales from the Crypt where they did that with Humphrey Bogart as a murdered gangster type of thing.
Yeah,
And it was really good.
they took clips from Humphrey Bogart and just had the guy's lips there talking.
All right, so wait. After that, we got Contact. We got a TV movie, Robert Zemeckis on smoking, drinking, and drugging in the 20th century. We've got
That's the title of my autobiography.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't even remember 1988. We got What Lies Beneath.
That's a cool
Then we
movie.
got,
That's a good movie.
yeah, it is. Then we got Castaway.
Mm-hmm.
Then we
I didn't
got
like Castaway.
I liked Castaway. It was all right.
I was
I
surprised
don't
how
need
much
to
I
watch it
did.
again, but it was all right. We got Polar Express. Then we got Beowulf.
Yeah,
we
man.
covered on this show.
Yeah.
That's a great fucking animated feature.
Mm-hmm.
We got it's a lot of range here. It's a lot of fucking range. We got A Christmas Carol. I think that was the animated one with Jim Carrey.
Carrey.
Yeah.
Then we got Flight with Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Now, neither did I. We got The Walk.
I don't know what that one is either.
Another one called Allied. The Witches.
Oh, the remake of The
remake.
Witches.
The remake of The Witches.
We got Pinocchio from 2022. And then we got a movie called Here. And then he did one episode of a TV series called Tuned Out. So, I mean, it goes back a ways. And he's got some bangers, man.
He did a movie. He did a movie last year.
They're not all the same movie. I mean, it's not like he's making the same movie over and over and over again.
Yeah, no,
He did a movie last year where the camera was in one position, and it started off like back at the beginning of time, and it eventually was like you saw life, but just from that one pose. The big deal is that he got Tom Hanks and Robin Wright back together. Forrest Gump to do it. It was like shot in that. So it was shot from like one angle, and everybody.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, John. I saw that. Yeah, that was weird.
Like a stage play because you had
and it was like
their audience. It was only one
it was
camera.
like the years of their lives were progressing, and that was it was in one room. Yeah.
It was in one room. It was. I saw some of it because I'm going. This is a lot more interesting. I could see why people couldn't get it because it was a little bizarre. But if you're in the theater and you're sitting in the audience, you just get that one. I mean, no matter what it is, it's just coming in and out of that one scene.
Yeah, and
then set.
And Zemeckis really uses a lot of the CG stuff now. I mean, like the fully like Polar Express probably being the first one, and then Beowulf and Christmas Carol, all those kind of motion capture kind of movies. He's big on that now.
Yeah.
Well, he's always been big in special effects. I mean, Back to the Future, Roger Rabbit, Contact. There's lots of special effects used in Castaway. When he's on the ocean and stuff like that. So he's always dabbled in special. Forrest Gump. You know what I mean? Removing Gary Sinise' legs and having Forrest meet the different famous people.
I remember Rob Zombie's commentary on Forrest Gump, and he said, I think it was him who said that is the perfect use of CGI.
Yeah, he really
Like,
thought
you're
Gary
not
Sinise was
supposed-
legless. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not. He's like, who the fuck is this legless guy that can act like this? He's like, who
Yeah.
the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And he didn't even realize it. I've heard a lot of people say that is actually the ideal use of CGI. It's not supposed to be like building an entire universe.
Right.
It's just supposed to be this small thing that just looks so fucking real.
Right.
You know, or
Oh,
when
yeah.
you see him come out with the prosthetic legs, you know, at the
Right.
wedding, you know, and you're
Oh yeah.
like it's fantastic use of special
Yeah.
effects, but it wasn't.
Lieutenant Dan got new legs.
It's just supposed to be like a tool. It's not supposed to be
Yeah.
the whole thing. You
Yeah.
know? So
Exactly.
yeah,
And he knows how to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, even working the scenes where Gump would be talking to JFK or
yeah. Lyndon
you know,
Johnson.
talking to those type of people.
I got to pee. Yeah.
It's kind of amazing because I know people who bag on that movie, and myself included. I think it gets a little long, but
Who Gump?
Yeah.
there's other moments when he's working with blending, like Nixon in or
John Lennon.
with John
Yeah.
Lennon. You know, I'm like, wow, it really is seamless
The
or
problem-
close to it for the time.
There was nothing wrong with the Forrest Gump movie. The problem was that just ran up against what I thought were a bunch of better movies that year.
Oh, I
And-
agree.
All of them lost to Forrest Gump because it was the feel-good movie.
Right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're not going to tell me that was better than Shawshank. It's just not.
No.
No,
No.
I love Forrest
I-
Gump, but it's not better than Shawshank.
No, I don't think any of those movies that year was better than Shawshank, but there were just a number. It was like Pulp Fiction and like a bunch
Yeah.
of them. And I just didn't think that, and so it didn't turn out that way. And I think it's left like a sort of bad taste in people's mouths. They're like, fucking.
Yeah, but that's Tom Hanks' fault. He's just too damn.
Yeah,
adorable.
it kind of people like to make fun of Forrest Gump, and I see so many. It's hilarious how many arguments you see online that Jenny was the villain of the
Yes.
movie. It's
Yeah.
a riot.
100%.
Yeah,
Mhm.
how many people go on just slam Jenny about how she treated
yeah,
Forrest?
yeah.
It's funny.
She's the
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's the original, well, not the original, but one of the classic crazy bitches, you know? And she just,
yeah.
you know, she's like one of the all-time fucking crazy bitches that you'll see in
Yeah.
film. If you get
What
a
is he
chance,
trying to say, Michael?
no, we'll start to wrap this up, but if you get a chance, I'll sort of wrap it up here.
Yeah.
You want to see like one of the best performances of a crazy fucking bitch? Watch the Emily Blunt in The Smashing Machine with The Rock.
Yes.
Holy
Oh, that
shit.
new one.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think The Rock had that in him, and that was a 5-star movie. That was a 5-star movie.
Why did they make a
Performance
movie
was 5
about that guy? Was he like? I don't really know much about him.
Mark Kerr? He
Yeah.
was just one of the UFC pioneers, and just he had
Oh,
an
okay.
interesting, a bit of a controversial life. A bit of a controversial life.
I mean,
I
it was
saw the
one of-
document. I saw the documentary, The Smashing
Yes.
Machine, that came out like
Yeah.
20 years ago. So.
It was on HBO. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Is there anything we've been going for almost an hour, believe it or not, just sort of blabbing on, but that's cool. Is there anything about this film that anyone would want to discuss that we have not covered?
I mean, like I said, it's a movie you can still pick up little things in the background with
Oh, yeah.
every watch. Like I always look, Twin Pines Mall. He runs over the one pine tree. It's now what Lone Pines Mall at the end.
Yeah.
But it's stuff that I pick up at the when he's in the 80s or when he's in the 50s. Re-elect Mayor Red Thomas. Well, who's the drunken bum in the 80s? His name's Red. So
Right.
he went
Yeah.
from the mayor in the 50s to a drunken homeless person. Just little things that you could still pick up. It's just a lot of fun. And again,
Calling
it's just
him a
really, really
sailor
smart.
because he wore a
Everything has, everything has a purpose.
Yeah, calling him a sailor because he had that inflated or puffy vest. that
Yeah,
was
everybody
inflated.
wore those back in the 80s. You forget those
Yeah.
sleeveless
Those-
vests. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it looked like
all
a
right.
life vest.
Mhm.
Anything else? Good grief.
I think we covered it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, let's give credit also to Michael J. Fox is playing guitar. Because I know
It's
there
got,
were
it's got an
documentaries on
excellent
him learning how to
score. The
play
movie
guitar.
score is great.
Oh yeah.
I saw a clip on YouTube. There was another band that invited Michael J. Fox up, and this was like 2-3 years ago, and you could see him shaking. And they gave him a guitar, and they started playing Johnny Be Good, and he starts jamming,
Mhm.
and he
Wow.
stopped shaking.
Oh,
I
that's
always
cool.
felt was it great the way that he did it? No, but it was a lot better than I ever could.
Mm.
I said the last I saw Michael J. Fox in an acting role, and then we'll go into the rating after this. Was they had that Kiefer Sutherland show after 24 where he became president. It was a Netflix series.
Yeah.
And they brought him in as like a lawyer on the show. And he like stole every scene, at least for me. He's still acting. Underrated as an actor. Unfortunately, I agree. Because of his health, he probably didn't get as many roles because he was primed to be like a pure A-lister for quite a while. But his health just
I think it's actually one of the movies that I always forget he's in, and it's it's a great sleeper one. He's in Mars Attacks. He's one of the many cast members. He gets blasted. He's like one of the first people to get blasted, but he plays the news guy when they go to the desert to see the Martians. He's married to, what's her name? Sarah Jessica Parker. It's funny. I'm like, that's right. Michael J. Fox is in this.
All right. Let's get to the part in the stream where we rate the film. This channel has a rating system that goes to 0 to 5 up by halves. So 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, all the way to 5. So 0, for example, would be I'd rather work an extra hour every day for the next 3 weeks than watch this movie again, all the way to 5, which is this is the journey, this is the destination, this is why we watch films in the first place. Not a butthead. What would you give Robert Zemeckis' Back to the Future?
Don't take this the wrong way. I love this movie. The nostalgia and the relationship I've had with this movie for 40 years notwithstanding, it is still, as John said, a popcorn movie. I will not give it a 5. It just is not that kind of movie. I like it. I like it a lot, but I'm going to go with a 4.
Okay, a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. More than 3, less than 5. That's a 4. John K. Alvarez, who was a former roadie for the Pinheads. What do you got for us?
It's funny because I was debating the same thing, and then when I heard Not a Butthead give his review, I agree with him. It's a wonderful movie. Is it perfect? No.
Right.
Or as I like to put it, if I saw it, I'm not going to sit down and start watching it, but I'll remind myself, hey, I got to catch this again. So I'm giving it a 4.
Yeah. It's not one of the it's one of the best hamburgers I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
It's not a filet mignon.
Exactly.
Gotcha. All right, Eric, what do you got for us?
I don't think it's trying to be a filet mignon, so I will give it a 5.
No, 5. 5. More than 4, less than 6.
Beginning to end, I just love this film. Like I said, smart writing, the perfect cast. Even Crispin being a fucking weirdo, it's a perfect cast because he fits the weirdness of George in the 50s. Biff's a great villain. The score, the music, the look, the feel. Is it perfect? No, but you know what? Just because it's not perfect doesn't mean I can't give it a 5. I think it deserves it.
It's a free country. All right, so we're going with 5 over here. The Ryan Daly, what do you got for us?
I would say I love the movie, but I think I'm giving it a 4 because I think it's Zemeckis' second best movie. I think his best movie is Roger Rabbit. That's just me. And but this movie is timeless. As I said, it's nostalgic. It's like John said, it's one of those ones where you're like, maybe I should see this again, sometime. And, it's also one of those movies where you've seen it so many times. You don't really, it's just ingrained in you. So, but I'll give it a solid 4.
A 4. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. I'm having a little accident over here, just trying to grab something. Let's see. For me, I haven't seen this movie in 20 or 25 years. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but there was one scene that kind of took me out of it, and that was towards the end, where all the electrical sockets come unplugged as they're trying to time for it, and I'm like, okay, like it's just like this gap or something, where like Doc Brown is trying to plug everything back in again, and it kind of took me out of it. I'm going to go with a 4. I like the story. Like I said, I think it is the stereotypical or maybe an exceptional version of Campbell's The Hero's Journey. he goes further out than he's ever intended. He comes back home. He shares the light that he's discovered in the world with everybody else. His family is greatly improved. But yeah, I wouldn't give it a 5. I wouldn't give it a 5. I think it's extremely high level entertainment.
Yes.
And it's got moments of cinema, but it's not quite there. So I give it a 4. No problem. All right. Not a butthead. Plug something.
Yeah, I got my radio show coming up. The yearly Christmas season radio show should be starting either, bless you, next week or the week after. It's on WMCX Monmouth University Radio, 88.9 FM here at the Jersey Shore, WMCX.com for those of you not at the Jersey Shore. So that's what I'm doing.
So will you be playing Christmas music, or is it just...
I got one night is Christmas music, one night is the St. Stephen's All Jam Band Fest, and just some other stuff here and there. I'll probably do 4 or 5 shows between now and middle January. So tune in if you can, probably Tuesdays from 5 to 8.
All right. Put some links out there in the text group when you're going to be on. All right, John K. Alvarez, you have any roadie duties coming up anytime soon? What do you got for us?
Yeah, I do, but Butthead, I gotta come out and say it. You sounded like one of those FM DJs back in the day. He's
Dr.
like,
Johnny Fever over here, man.
I need to. It's a skill.
Yeah, this weekend I will be helping out my good friend Santa, as I like to put it. I sent a thing to you, Michael. I didn't know if you got it.
No, I didn't see it. You got to text me. I didn't know to look.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to be at Cold Spring Village. They're doing a Wassail weekend.
Oh,
as
nice.
well as
That's cool.
A nighttime tour where they're walking through. And when the big guy can't be there, I'm going to jump in and be the second big guy in the big red suit for him for a couple of weeks.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Is that it?
There you go.
All right, so Cold Spring Village, Cold Spring Christmas Walking Tour, Saturday, December 6th and the 13th. That's between 4 and 7 p.m. Adults, $14. Children, 12 and under, 10. And members are free admission. Start your visit at the Seashore Road Welcome Gate and follow a period dress guide through the select historic buildings. Stop by the country store to meet Father Christmas and browse unique gifts for your holiday shopping. Complete your tour at Cold Spring Brewery, all right there, where you can learn about the brewing process and try a complimentary tasting of some of our unique brews. Ticket purchasing available online only. Ticket sales close at noon on the day of the event. And that's at 735 Seashore Road, Cape May, New Jersey, 08204.
And actually, on the next days, on the 7th, 14th, and 21st, I will be in the brewery greeting people and your pets for pictures.
Okay. I was saying, is that what they call it when you're in the brewery? You'd be greeting people? You're greeting the bartender.
Whatever. However I get paid, baby.
He just showed up and they just, made him feel
Yeah, exactly. He won't leave. So, you want a job here? Jesus Christ.
Put him in the corner.
Just prop him up. He'll be good.
Oh, also, I sent it on the group chat. My first attempt at TikTok is out in the
is that what you said? Okay, I haven't opened it yet. Okay, I saw the link. I haven't opened it yet. Okay, all right, I'll take a look. All right, Eric, what do you got for us?
Hey, Internet, Eric here is the YouTube channel. I don't really do regular uploads as much anymore. I've said it before. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. What else can I fucking say? Like pull off a DVD of Terminator 2 and say, hey, I really like this movie. So I've kind of moved more so into the interviews. I'm not going to reveal who I have set up because I don't want to jinx it because I've already had to do some rescheduling. But I have interviewed different pro wrestlers, YouTubers. I've got a couple actresses and directors set up. And I'm also every 2 weeks where we might be moving to Saturdays, me and my friend Melissa. She's a newbie to horror movies, so I'm kind of helping guide her through it. And we've done classics like Carrie that she had never seen before. We've talked Train to Busan, The Substance from last year. And I know in a couple weeks we have planned, she's going to I'm introducing her, Mike, to Rec, and I can't wait to be. And she's one of those people that scares easy, so I cannot wait to hear her her feelings on the movie Rec. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of Ryan that time we watched it. For God's sake.
Oh yeah, that last scene was pretty freaky. Yeah.
All right, Ryan, what do you got for us? Anything going on?
No, not right now. Don't have anything. I may be doing a show at Gateway, but I don't want to say anything about it because it's kind of, it depends on how much money they get. Because they went full musical for their main season. So my show would be part of what's called the community spotlight. We're like non-musical shows. So it's kind of like they're trying to raise money and get up more revenue. So hopefully with Scrooge, it'll sell out and then I'll be able to do what I want to do. It is, however, it's a classic drama. It's actually one of my favorite movies, and I'm getting to, the opportunity to direct it, which is awesome. And I've already got a lot of buzz about it. So I'll just wait. I'll leave it at that and we'll wait and see what happens. All right.
It's not Wuthering Heights, is it?
No. If you really want me to tell you, I'll tell you. It's 12 Angry Men.
Oh, okay. All right.
12 Angry Jurors, really, the new version, because, you can't have all men on a jury these days.
Well, you can't have Libyan terrorists either. But
yeah, exactly. So anyway, I'm hoping to get that off the ground, but we'll see. But I'm going to New York City tomorrow for a field trip, so that'll be fun. So my mythology classes, we're going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I haven't been there since high school, so it should be fun.
All right. Sounds like a good time. All right. For this
Oh,
channel,
there's Audrey. Say hi.
Hello, Audrey.
Yeah.
Hello, Audrey.
She's going to bed. All right, night, baby. All right, I'm turning this off. Love you. All right.
For this channel, we will be back next week with some more Zemeckis, week 2 of 3. And we're going to go with one of my favorites, which is going to be Contact.
Yeah, I'll have to see that again.
Looking forward to it. That's got a really great cast. Her, McConaughey, Tom Skerritt.
Jodie Foster's in it, right?
Yeah, Jodie Foster. Yeah.
David Morris.
It's an even better book if you've had a chance to read it.
The Carl Sagan book.
Carl Sagan. It's I'd never read anything by Carl Sagan before.
I never did either.
It's phenomenal. I didn't know he was actually like that kind of a writer. So
yeah.
All right. My thanks to Not a Butthead. My thanks to John K. Alvarez, the roadie. My thanks to Eric from Hey Internet Eric here, and the Ryan Daly. We will see you all in the next video. All right. Take care, everyone. God bless you.